Hello YouTubers, hello. Looking at ways of solving my problem, possibly getting the right kind of meter to do what it is we need. So I thought I'd have a look at these old multimeters. This is one which comes in a leather case. Oops. This is unplanned, as you can imagine. That's nearly fallen on the floor. There's the box that it comes in. I just pulled this out of here because we have a problem with the cutout on here. We'll have a look, see if there's anything I could do. This is the manual. Actually got an operating manual. I thought you might be interested in seeing this. I've never used these. I've never used an AVO meter in my entire life, let alone know what to do with one. So, good to learn, isn't it? Here's working instructions, very important. This is an old one, this meter. Anyway, there's the manual for it. Instructions. I think there's even a circuit diagram in the back of it. Yeah, there is. There you go. That's the circuit diagram if anybody there wants to have a look. I'll just leave that there for a few seconds in case anybody wants to see a circuit diagram of this. I think it's long enough. There's that one, which has got a problem here with the reset. And also we have, when I remember where I put it, 2 seconds, we have this one, which is a slightly newer version to this one. This one belongs in that case. This one doesn't have a case. Another prime example of a perfectly good meter completely destroyed by the idiot who packed it, because this is the damage that was done. This was done because they were just, I bought 3 of them, not this one. There's 3 different meters I bought. Another 3, I've got a few of these, and there was no packing, so they bounced around on top of one another, and this is the end result. And I thought, we'll keep it together like this. Maybe one day, when I find out how to repair Bakelite, I might have a go at trying to repair this and get it back to some kind of you know, good cosmetic condition. Luckily the insides weren't broken, but the same problem with this one as well. Got problems with the resets. I'm not sure which one was which, but one of them was done with an elastic band and the other one I just can't remember. But which one's which out of them two, I do not know. Now the other problem is the leads. This is the leads to the first one, and they're broken. They're no good anymore. That's one of the leads. Typical AVO meter design. There's different variations of these sort of leads. I don't know where the black one went. I'm sure. Oh yes, there it is. We got the black one. Here it is. There's the black one. As you can see, it's worse for wear. I very much doubt you can get these apart. I don't know. Let's have a look one day. Maybe we might be able to repair them. I don't know. But these are high voltage, and they're not very good. But I have found that my banana plugs fit nicely into these. Not those ones. These ones down here. Thought I'd try that one just for banana. Oh, I'm trying to do this with one hand. Banana plugs fit very nicely in there. So if we can get these working, maybe might be able to use this for the 1.5 volt, or that one. Don't know. As I say, we're in the deep end here. Well and truly in the deep end. This is about the best I can do without spending any money. I mean, these would do, if we get these working, these would do the job perfect. They take special batteries, that's the only problem. We don't have those, but we don't want to be testing ohms. We want to measure voltage. So we should be alright if we can get these cutouts to work. So let's have a look, see what we can do. Let's get one apart and investigate. So there's 2 screws left and right, 2 screws top and bottom. Right, so let's see if we can lift this out. 2 secs. And this is what the inside looks like. It's a work of art, it really is a work of art. And the other one, though that would be different, would be the same. An absolute work of art. I tell you, these are the bee's knees, dog's bollocks in multimeters here in the UK. When these came out, they really were the dog bollocks in meters. This is the problem here. I'll just get my torch so you can see. If you've got a torch, might as well use it. There we go. You can get a bit more. If I put that there like that, right, and try and operate this. See this? I'll try and focus it in so you can see. This is the problem. See, that's supposed to be held over there with a spring. See that? And then when it trips, that's what happens. That's how it works. So what we need is something to hold this over. A spring from there to there, ideally. I think somebody used an elastic band. Obviously elastic bands perish after a while, but that's how that one was repaired, and might be able to do the same with the other one, maybe. As we're looking at multimeters, we might as well look at both of them while we're at it. We probably only really need one, but if we need 2, we'll be ready for it, won't we? So I doubt very much I have any elastic bands. I usually throw them away. The postman always leaves elastic bands around. Just want that there hooked onto that there to keep that over. But that is good enough, because all we're going to be using is 1.5 volts. And whatever the other voltages are, maybe. Right, having played around for a few minutes, this is the one that had the elastic band on, and this is set to the correct voltage. And when it is, I can't read the scale because the paint's come off, but the first one is 1 volt, and the second one I think is 10. And I don't know if I'm going to be able to do all this with this the way. I don't know if I'm going to be able to do this or not. This is really, really tricky. I'm not very good with chopsticks. I don't know, I'll give up. I have to set the tripod up, I think. 2 secs. Got it set on the tripod. I don't know if you're going to be able to see it or not. But this is set to the 1 volt scale. As you can see, it'll jump straight across. See? I don't know if the camera's going to pick that up. So if I put it on the next one, which is 10 volts, and it goes across a short way, which I don't know is going to be enough for alignment. So we've looked at the other AVO meter, which I'm going to show you now, which is this one, which looks quite a bit different from the other one, even though the layout is very similar. I'll just give you a good look at this meter. I'm using the light behind so that you can get a really good view of this. The workmanship on these were absolutely beautifully done. There you go. Take a look at that for workmanship. What a lovely piece of work. And the trouble is, one of the things that really suffers with these meters is the leads. As you can appreciate, they've got a lot of usage, these. Now one of these, Series 7 AVO meter, back in the 70s and the 80s or whenever it was, one of these would cost you brand new £200 without a leather case. That was an optional extra, I think. Look at the workmanship on that. You can't get stuff like that nowadays. Now this meter does have a 1.5 volt scale, but it's got the damaged case. So let's get rid of the light and I'll show you. I think it's going to be the best job for what we want. Sorry we lost the light again for a minute. I want to put this somewhere safe. I don't want that dropping on the floor. But this is the case. Let's get some better light on the subject. This is, oh, lost a bit. 2 seconds, and this is important to pick up before I lose it. Hang on. So I think using our banana plugs like this and putting crocodile clips on the ends, we might be able to use the meter despite we don't have the correct leads. This will do fine. We're not going to do any high voltage or out like that, so these leads will be fine. But look at the damage done to this case. These are the bits that's come out so far. Smashed, excuse me, I just had my dinner. Smashed to smithereens. So, what I'm planning on doing, I know we're being sidetracked again, we're supposed to be working on alignment, but here we go, we're now fixing a multimeter case. I want to have a go at fixing this. I've got the stuff to do it. The only thing I don't have is any fiberglass padding or anything to reinforce. I don't have anything like that. Might be able to utilise something else, I don't know. But we'll play it by ear as we go along. Isn't that a shame? So I'm going to have a go at repairing this. Right, so it looks like we're fixing 2 multimeters at the same time here. We need an elastic band for that. Case is fine. And we need to basically take apart all of this and basically super glue it back together again. The battery compartment came out. 2 seconds, I'll just show you that. Here's the battery compartment. Takes 2 batteries. It's got some, oh, hang on, a bit much, something else has just fallen out of here. Don't know what that was, might have been another screw. 4 big resistors and a smaller resistor. There's all the linkages. I tell you, the workmanship on these things was amazing. I think it's a 15 volt battery and a big 1.5 volt battery these take, I think. I did buy a battery for one of these. Don't know where those are and if they're any good. But we don't need to use the ohms or anything like that. Not that I know how to read ohms on a scale like this. This is one of the problems I had years ago. Nobody taught me or showed me anything about how to read resistance on these kind of scales. You know, I admit, I have no idea how to read them. Maybe I can teach myself. Now I have YouTube, and now we have a lot more information available than what I had back 35 years ago or whatever it was. So anyway, that belongs over there with that. It's just a matter of taking this apart, somehow detaching the anchor for the strap. It's got a bit of tape over it, and basically try and glue it all back together again best we can. I don't know if I'm going to get any of that done today. We've got the super glue. Probably super glue it and then reinforce it somehow. We've got the filler. It's sacrilege to be using all this stuff on something like this. It was unnecessary. If only enough packing was done in the first place. Real shame. So right, I don't know if I'm going to get much more done today, but see how far we go. But we've got tomorrow. It looks like we're not going to be doing any alignment. We'll be working on these. But it's nothing major. It's just getting them into a state where we can use them. We're only going to be testing voltages, low voltages at that, so we're quite safe. I wouldn't be linking these up to high voltages. But yeah, these were absolutely fantastic machines when they were at the new. And you in America, you guys, you would have had meters that were available to you. Over there in America, that was excellent, really good meters. Same as here in the UK, this was our equivalent to those meters that you guys used to use. Okay, let's go on to the next bit. I'll let you know, I'll give you a progress report, how far we've got. Right, that bit snaps into place. Excuse me, there. Right, so, oh dear. As you can see, there's a rise there, which tallies with that there, so that's about where that goes. So we'll try and glue that in, and the other bit is going off nicely. Trying my best not to disturb it. So we'll glue that and this piece here in, and then we'll leave it for a bit to go off properly before we go on to the next bit, because somehow we've got to incorporate not this strap but one like it that goes on the other side of this. Goes about here somewhere. Right, that's that bit there glued in. We're just going to wait for that to go off nice and hard. So just walk away and leave it for a few minutes. Right, that's that bit there done. We've managed to get the rivet or whatever you call it in the best we can. Very, very fiddly. And by the way, I have made sure I haven't got super glue on my fingers before picking up the plastic camera. Yeah, super glue gets everywhere. I don't want to have to go to hospital with a camcorder stuck in a certain position, stuck to my fingers. I'm only joking, I wouldn't I wouldn't do that. I'll get it off. Embarrassment with too much. So just waiting for that to set now, and then we'll glue the rest of those little pieces in, and then we should be ready to reinforce tomorrow with some hardener. Right, this is as far as we got so far. It's starting to get there, but it's very rough on the outside, but don't worry about that. We've got this last piece to fit in. Now it does fit, but if you notice there's a rubber all the way around like a seal. This fits in there, but will press up on the on this surface from underneath. So what I'm planning on doing, you're not looking, we're not looking, there, now you are. I know it's not straight yet, but it's sticking, oops, it's gone on the floor now. It's sticking up. So what I'm planning on doing is I'm going to glue this in the best I can, and then we're going to have to shape it down to the right level. We need to reinforce it first, and then we can take it down and make it fit. But it needs to be reinforced. But there's nuts embedded in the Bakelite where the screws go through. Might not be able to get them all in, but if we can get most of them in, it's better than what we've got. We're getting there. Slowly, we're getting there. And I still haven't found an elastic band for this. I still haven't found an elastic band for this. So while I was waiting for the glue to dry, Yeah, we've been watching a film. I've watched it several times. I really like it. Would recommend it if you like science fiction films. It's called The Book of Ellie, starring Denzel Washington and Gary Oldman. It's a really good film. If you like blood and guts and futuristic, it's good. But if you like old-fashioned kind of movies, it ain't for you. Very good. Same director that did the From Hell movie about Jack the Ripper. Also an excellent film. The Hughes brothers are the directors, and they certainly get the films very realistic. I like their films very much. There you go. Right, okay then, we're going to glue this piece in, and then we're going to have to wait for it all to harden up, and then tomorrow it's a question of cleaning up the best we can. We make a judgment, and we might not clean it up. We might leave it as it is and reinforce it, because remember, it's not very strong like this. Probably reinforce it first and then clean it up. I think that'd probably be better. Okay, so let's get that done. As you can see, we've got a bit sticking up there. So what we'll probably do is reinforce, and then we'll have to file it down. Should be fairly easy once it's all gone off hard. We're getting there. There's a torch on charge. Yeah. Really nice, aren't they? Beautifully made. And so is this one. A work of art. All precision resistors. We wouldn't be able to replace those if they went. We wouldn't have anything probably in those values, at those tolerances. Very nice. Very nice indeed. Right, we've just come back to have a look to see how our glue's going off, and it's going off pretty well. And then I noticed this piece, and if you know, I don't know if the camera's going to pick this up. There, hang on. Can you see? You've got the rough edges, and can you see that there? There's a like an area where a screw or a shaft goes through. See that? Well, I've looked on that, and I can't see it anywhere where it goes. Anywhere at all. So I thought, well, the only other place it could have possibly come from is this. So I've been looking around to see if I could see anywhere on here where it comes from. And then I noticed, I'm going to try and zoom in as much as I can. Right, see that guy flexing up and down? It's come detached. And then I'll try and my best to try and show you. I don't know if you're going to be able, the camera's going to even pick it up. Can you see in the distance? Right ahead in front, you see the head of a screw, and there's relay switches to the right of it. Can you see that? Well, look behind, upside down to that, there's another cheese head screw. See that? Well, there is a bit of Bakelite missing. I think you'll find it's that piece. Now, I'm not going to be able to take all this apart. Oops, sorry. I'm not going to be able to take all this apart. So what I'm thinking of doing is glue this part down as much as I possibly can and hope that holds it. I mean, I'm not planning of chucking it around anymore, and I'm certainly not planning of shipping it to anyone. I just noticed that. Never noticed it before. So we're going to have to rig up some kind of clamp to pull this together while the super glue sets. Fun and games. That's how we're going to do it. I decided we're not going to use super glue on this. We're going to use epoxy. It's a stronger glue, since we've already lost the strength on the other side. Which means if it's banged around, it's going to flex on this resistor. There. It's going to be pulling on that there. But if we anchor it down there, that should be alright, as long as we're not transporting it anywhere, like I say. So that's what I'm going to do now. I think we cut some epoxy. Now, while I was doing that one, I noticed this wasn't soldered on there. You can see where it's been. So we're just going to tack that back on later on. I'm not going to mess around on the bench because we're waiting for our epoxy to dry or set. I put extra epoxy around it as well to give it extra strength, but we now need to give that time to harden off properly before we go on any further, because we disturbed this lot. We're just going to make more work for ourselves. But yeah, it's coming along. Might be able to reinforce that other bit, see how we get on, because I've got the bit of Bakelite that's come off of the other part. We'll see how we go. Play it by ear. It's the best thing to do, play it by ear. But yeah, fancy spotting that, huh? Beautiful way these are made, you know. Absolutely beautiful. Piece of craftsmanship. Right there. I mean, when you paid £200 for one of these, you got your money's worth, definitely. And there's a closer up there of that wire that's come off. Just to give you a closer shot so you can see much better. You can see the groove in the solder where it's come up. Easy fix to solder when you spotted it. Right, I've just roughed up the surface in here, and I'm going to plaster all this with filler to give it protection. I've got to avoid this hole here, which is a screw hole which goes through to where is it? Oh, it's over the other side now. That's not the one for this, that's the older one. It's over the other side. And then we're just going to put all this in here. We're going to use something I've never used before. Buzz recommended it, and I thought we'll give it a go. This is before I bought the signal generators. Bondo. So I'm going to use this for the first time and see what happens. Don't need much, it's just to give that some strength. Okie dokie, I'll let you know how we get on.